Hello and welcome to the presentation on grade levels. Myself M. Revati, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Hindustan College of Engineering and Technology, Coimbatore. In this presentation, we will see about different grade levels. So RAID, it is redundant arrays of independent disks. So it is a technique that combines multiple disk drives into a group. You call it as logical unit or RAID set, and provides protection, performance, or both. So you call it as RAID. So it is an array of independent disks. It is an enabling technology that leverages multiple drives as a part of a set that provides data protection against disk failures because you are using multiple disk drives. It improves storage system performance by serving IOs from multiple disks simultaneously. So RAID levels, application performance, data availability requirements, and cost determine the RAID level selections. So RAID levels, they are defined based on stripping, mirroring, and parity techniques. So stripping, it is you are dividing the data either block or bytes, and you are storing it in different disks, that is stripping. Mirroring, exact replica, and parity, you are using parity technique so that you can find out error, right? So that is RAID levels. So RAID 0. So RAID 0, it uses data stripping techniques where data is stripped across all the disks within a RAID set. So it utilizes the full storage capacity of a RAID set to read the data. All the strips are put back by the controller. So this RAID controller, it is responsible for reading or writing to the RAID array. So RAID 0, it does not provide any data protection or availability. So consider an example where you have data, so A, B and C. So by using RAID 0, what happens is it strips. So you have the disk drives, right? So for the data, so it strips the data across all the disks within the RAID set. So these disks together form a RAID set. So these data are stripped across the disks. So you have this data is splitted A1, A2, A3 and A4, that is spread across the disk and it will be stored. So this is called as stripping technique. So RAID 0, it uses stripping techniques and it does not provide any data protection. It only strips the data and stores it in the data or stores the data in the disk drives or RAID array. Next level is RAID 1. So RAID 1, it is based on the mirroring technique. So mirroring technique, so it provides replica of the data. So it provides fault tolerance. Since a copy of the data or replica of a data is available, it provides fault tolerance if one disk fails. So you can retrieve the data from another disk. Minimum of 2 disk drives is needed for RAID 1 implementation and every write is returned to both the disks. So during any failure, the RAID controller, what does it do is it uses the mirror drive for recovering the data by extracting the replicated data. So here you have the data and you have the disk drives. So the data are stored in a drive and it will be replicated to another drive. So whenever data is returned to one drive, so it will be exactly replicated to another drive. And then similarly for data B, so whenever any data is returned to a disk, it is exactly replicated in another disk. So it will be a mirroring, right? So this will be your RAID 1. Next we move on to RAID level 2. So RAID level 2, it consists of bit level stripping and it also uses error correction code. So for Hamming code parity. So each bit of data, so it is bit level stripping, not block level. So each bit of data word is written to a data disk drive, and for that bit of data, ECC codes are calculated by using Hamming code parity, and it will be stored on a different set of disks. But RAID 2 is not used nowadays. It is very rarely used. So when you have a data, so this will be your data disks. So here it will be stripped bitwise, and then for that you will have this error correction codes that will be generated. So for each of these bits generated, you will have this error correction codes, and whenever a data is retrieved, right? So it will check with the ECC codes to find out whether the data is correct or if it has been changed. But RAID 2 is not used nowadays. So you call these disks as data disks, so group of data disks, and this will be group of ECC disks. Next level is RAID 3. So RAID 3, it consists of byte level stripping and it uses parity for tolerance, whereas RAID 2, it uses bit level stripping and it uses ECC. Right? But here you have parity. So parity information is stored in a dedicated drive. So you have a separate disk in which the parity values are stored. So with the help of that parity, whenever a data is lost, you can reconstruct it. So RAID 3 always reads and writes complete strides of data across all disks because the drives operate in parallel. So you will have data disks and a dedicated parity disks, right? So you will have data disks and a dedicated parity disk. So in the data disks, the data will be byte level stripping is performed on the data, and for that a parity is calculated and it will be stored in the parity disk. So for this 4 bytes, so you will have a parity calculated, and if you have another 4 bytes, another parity will be calculated. So whenever any disk fails, how can you reconstruct the data? With the help of this parity bit, you can reconstruct the data. So RAID 3 level, it provides fault tolerance for a single disk failure. So if 2 disks fails, then you cannot recover a data. So if any one disk fails, then you can recover the data with the help of this parity disk. So this is how RAID 3 level works. Next level is RAID 4. So in RAID 4, each entire block is written onto a data disk block level stripping. So parity for same rank blocks is generated on writes, and you have a parity disk and it will be recorded in the parity disk. So it is similar to RAID 3, but here you have block level stripping, right? So instead of byte, you will have block level stripping. So it works similar to your RAID 3. RAID 5, so it consists of block level stripping with distributed parity, whereas in RAID 3 and RAID 4 you have a dedicated parity disk, but in RAID 5 parity is distributed across all the disks in order to overcome the bottleneck of a dedicated parity disk. So RAID 5, it is good for random read intensive IO applications. So you have the data and you have the disks, right? So how for A, so block level stripping is done and parity is calculated, right? And it will be stored in the disk. And for B, block level stripping is done and the parity will be stored on the disk, but instead of having a dedicated parity disk, the parity bits are distributed across the disks, right? So you have a distributed parity. For this block, for A, you have this parity is located in this disk, and for B you have here, and for C you have here, and for D you have here. So the parity is distributed across the disks. So that is the main advantage of RAID 5. There is no dedicated parity disk needed for implementation of RAID 5 level. RAID 6. So RAID 6, it works the same way as RAID 5, except that RAID 6, it includes a second parity element in order to survive for 2 disk failures. So RAID 6, it requires at least 4 disks. So it distributes the parity across all the disks. So you call it as P plus Q parity. So here you have the data, right? And then you will have second parity element. So AP, this is for A data, and then this is also for A data, right? So you have 2 parity bits instead of 1 what we have used in RAID 5. Similarly for B, you will have BP and BQ. P, you call it as P plus Q parity, and the parity bits are also distributed. Similarly for C and for D. So each data, it consists of 2 parity bits. So here BP, BQ, CP and CQ, DP and DQ. So these are the RAID levels